We are back with a brand new video. What is good, you guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the disappointment of the deadline because it is a very, very sad day to be a Miami Heat fan. Yeah, man, I mean, it is very, very disappointing today. We'll get right into it. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, comment down below. Make sure you guys vent as much as possible in the comments. Like, I just want to hear everyone's thoughts unfiltered. I don't care what you guys have to say. Blame whoever, because I'm probably going to be going off in this video too. So, yeah, I'm very, very sorry for not putting this out earlier. I know you guys were probably expecting it because the trade deadline ended like 6 hours ago. So it's coming out right now. So 6 hours after the whole fiasco. But we're going to be giving our thoughts as usual. And make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment down below. Check out my second channel where I'm going to be dropping a mock draft very, very soon. That will be up. So if you guys are draft fans, on my second channel in the description, and follow my Twitter in the description as well. All right, now that we got all the housekeeping stuff out of the way, it is time to address the whole dilemma that is the disappointment of the trade deadline. And you know, going into it last night, I actually did a spaces with a bunch of Miami Heat fans, and they were asking me like, "Yo, what do you think is gonna happen?" And I was like, you know, like obviously I would like to see trades happen. I would like to see Kyle Lowry get traded, but I unfortunately don't see anything happening because I just didn't really want to have my hopes up. Because, you know, when you expect a lot of stuff, you kind of get disappointed most of the time. So I kind of just wanted to go in with it with like a level head and say, okay, I'm not expecting much. Whatever happens, happens. If something happens, I'll be excited. If not, whatever. And spoiler, nothing happened and I was still mad. So that clearly didn't work. So it was really because I think it's kind of stemmed from the offseason. The Heat had a disappointing offseason in general. Didn't really do much to get better, got worse, and we expected the trade deadline to be some sort of like saving grace for this team in order to get back on track. Now, like right now, we're the 6th seed, which is like not terrible, but it's not great. You know, we're only the 6th seed by half a game, and yeah, I mean, like there's a clear gap between the top teams in the East and us, and we sit at 6 right now. Now, obviously, Brooklyn got worse, which is a plus for the Heat if they want to, you know, compete for a championship. But Boston added a piece. Milwaukee added Jay Crowder. 76ers added Jaden McDaniels and a piece. The Cavs didn't do anything. The Cavs and the Heat and the Bulls were the only teams that did not make any trades. But the top 3 teams in the East did make moves, and that is very, very concerning if you want to, you know, win a championship. Now, obviously, I'm a realist. There's no chance, in my opinion, that this team even competes for a championship. At best, we're a second-round exit, in my opinion. And that is with this current roster. Now, unfortunately, in my opinion, we could have improved our odds significantly if we had, you know, made some trades in the deadline. But unfortunately, the Heat decided to not make any trades and decided to do completely nothing. Oh wait, they did make one trade. They traded Dewayne Dedmon, which doesn't really count. We had to move a second-round pick to trade Dewayne Dedmon. That just shows you how we should have never brought him back in the first place. I was always against that. I don't know why did we sign Dewayne Dedmon in the offseason? Obviously Yurtseven got injured, but like, I don't know. Like he was clearly not worth it, especially if we were gonna flip him. I don't really understand that. The Heat's asset management over the past couple of years have been an absolute joke, and they're gonna have a lot of decisions to make. You know, mismanaging Dewayne Dedmon was one of their biggest, like weaknesses coming into this season, and it's not just one of them. Like they've had a lot of these like mistakes that they made. You know, we had to offload a second, and people will just say it's only a second-round pick. Look at the trades today. Teams were just giving up second-round picks for players like it was nothing. Second-round picks are actually valuable. The Bucks gave up 5 of them for Jay Crowder. The Warriors, 5 of them for Gary Payton. Like, second-round picks do matter. And we had to trade one of those away to offload Dewayne Dedmon, which is wild. It's crazy. Now, obviously, by doing that, we freed up a roster spot. We created some money. Now, after this trade happened, a lot of people were like, maybe they're just going to like use this for the buyout market, which makes sense, you know, and I still think the buyout market is an option for us to improve our roster. Unfortunately, none of the players in the buyout market like would have improved our roster as much as anyone through trade. Like there are guys out there that still did not get traded. OG Anunoby, John Collins. These people are still on their respective teams. The Heat should have been all over them. The Suns got Kevin Durant. I don't even know how I went through the video this far without saying that. The Suns got Kevin Durant. The Mavericks got Kyrie Irving. And everybody improved the teams besides the Heat. Even the Lakers improved. The Lakers, who were the 13th seed, they got a lot better. I hate the Lakers, but D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, 2 Heat targets, Malik Beasley. They added a couple of other pieces. Mo Bamba, another one who's linked with the Heat. Crazy. The Heat could not do a single thing. Not one thing. I don't know what they were doing in that room. I don't know what Pat Riley was, if he was, I saw a report that he was sleeping. Obviously, that's probably fake, but I wouldn't even be surprised if it was real. No idea what was going on. I have zero idea what the Heat were trying to do, because you have Kyle Lowry. Don't even get me started on Kyle Lowry. I don't really see the point of even playing Kyle Lowry this season again. There's reports that he's disgruntled. The Heat, the relationship between him and the Heat is strained. That's just going to get worse. By keeping him on the roster, you're just going to make it worse. We should have just cut our losses with him and traded him. Now, obviously, it's hard because his contract is very big and he's currently injured, but there are teams, the Los Angeles Clippers, they were waiting on Kyle Lowry, bro. We could have sent him to the Clippers very easily. As soon as the Clippers traded for Bones Highland, I knew that the Heat were not trading them Kyle Lowry, because the Clippers had moved on to their next point guard target. They traded for Bones Highland. We could have traded Kyle Lowry if we wanted to. Unfortunately, the Heat did not. They decided to stay pat. They have an extra roster spot. That's probably just going to be to convert Orlando Robinson's deal to a regular contract. And they also have some extra money. Who are we going to sign in the buyout market? Russell Westbrook. I've been hearing a lot of Russell Westbrook. At this point, I don't really care who it is, because I don't none of the names in the buyout market are making us anything great. They might marginally improve us, but it's not going to take us from a second round exit to a contender. They're not. They're just not. It's a bunch of washed point guards. Let's keep it a buck. Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Patrick Beverley, Reggie Jackson, all point guards who are way past their prime. Serge Ibaka, another player who's past his prime. The only player who is probably going to be on the buyout market who is not washed is Will Barton and Terrence Ross. Apart from those two, everybody on the buyout market is way past their prime. So even if we add a Russell Westbrook, even if we had a John Wall, if we had any one of those players, it's going to take time for them to integrate into our system, first of all. But second of all, they're not that good for them to change the dynamic of how our season is going. So I don't really have any thoughts on who I would want from the buyout market. To be honest, I don't really care. Whoever it is, I hope they play well. I know the Heat will sign someone though, because they just didn't trade away Dewayne Dedmon just to do nothing. They obviously freed up some money. I would be highly surprised if the Heat did not sign a single player through the buyout market. The trade thing, yeah, I was mad, but I wasn't shocked, because I did predict yesterday that they would not make a trade. But the buyout market, if they don't sign anyone off the buyout market, I'm going to be completely surprised. That's going to surprise me to the max. So yeah, they're going to try to save face by signing someone through the buyout market and saying, oh yeah, guys, we're getting Oladipo back, we're getting Yurt 7 back, it's a new roster. That's all nonsense. This is the same team, except we're adding someone off the buyout market who's past his prime. Keep it a buck. This team is not good. It's very inconsistent. Since the offseason itself, a lot of people have been trying to say this, and a lot of people hope that the deadline would be the time where they improve their roster. OG Anunoby was on the block. John Collins has been on the block for years. Years. If you wanted shooting, Buddy Hield was on the block. PJ Washington was on the block. Sadiq Bey. The Warriors traded a bunch of second-round picks for Sadiq Bey. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Yeah, man, I mean, it's just disappointing at the end of the day. Am I, extremely shocked by it? Again, no, but, that still doesn't make it okay. If you're Pat Riley, if you're the front office, you have to be extremely disappointed with this. Spoelstra, I'm not even going to blame him, because, what say did he have? He just has to play with the roster he has. This roster is very flawed. So the season's results, I can't really say like the season's, losses and stuff like that. I can't really say that's on him because I don't think it is. I think it's on the front office. Y'all gave this guy a terrible roster, a bunch of undrafted players, and a couple of good players like Jimmy, Bam, and Hero, and a bunch of other guys who are not really consistent contributors. They still have to figure out what they do in the offseason now because Vincent is going to be a free agent. Strus is going to be a free agent. Do you pay them or not? We had this discussion with Duncan Robinson. They paid him. It was one of the worst contracts. It still is one of the worst contracts in the NBA. And I don't want them to make the same mistake with Strus. Vincent, I doubt his market's going to be that high. So if you want to bring him back on it, I don't think we're going to have to pay that much to extend Vincent. I'm worried about Strus. I like Strus a lot, and I think he's a really good shooter. Unfortunately, he's like, the thing about Max is that he's nowhere near what Duncan was before Duncan got his extension. Before Duncan got his contract, Duncan was a sniper. Like Max can shoot the ball for sure, but I don't think people understand like before Duncan got his contract extension, how good of a shooter he was. So already, I think Duncan is a better shooter, even though Max has been playing better since the past couple of years. I still think Duncan, off of shot for shot, is a better shooter than Max. So we just made a mistake by paying him $90 million, Duncan Robinson. We cannot do the same thing with Max Strus. If we have to let him go, shooting is something that you can always find. You can always find shooting. It'll be everywhere. So I hope that they do not make the same mistake with Max Strus. So they have to make a decision about that. They have to make a decision about Kyle Lowry, because there's no way that Kyle Lowry can stay here past the summer. In the summer, if Kyle Lowry is a Miami Heat player going into next season, I'm going to be completely shocked. I just don't really see how it's going to work. There are already so many reports of him being frustrated with the team being frustrated with him. I don't really understand why we weren't able to find a trade for him. Like, I don't really see like a world where he really wants to be here. Like, I don't know. It's just not going to work out. So Kyle Lowry, like, if he's not moved by the summer, I'm going to be completely shocked. Jimmy Butler, he's going to get older, like 1 year older. The championship window, is it closing? Has it already closed? Next year, Jimmy Butler's going to be what, 33? That's not young, bro. I mean, we look at 33 because LeBron is 38. He's doing all this extraordinary stuff, but not everyone's LeBron. You can't play until 38 and be fine normally. You start to regress at this age. 33 is not a young age. So we have to take into account that as well, because we have paid Jimmy Butler a ton of money until he's 36. Bam has been the only positive of the season to me. The only positive. Hero has had his moments, Jimmy has had his moments, but Bam has been the reason we've been the 6th seed. 38 points last game against the Pacers. We got to make sure we keep him happy. I know Bam wants to win. He probably was like looking at the what unfolded today, and he was probably like, bro, what is going on? Why are we not making a move? Because he wants to win. Bam is competitive. Anyone on this Miami Heat team is going to want to win. That's what I can say about these players. They're not soft. They want to win. That's what the culture here is about. You don't get on this team unless you're a competitive player. So I know a lot of these players want to win. All of these players want to win. So they're probably all frustrated looking at the outcomes by, today. And we got to make sure he does not get disgruntled. If Bam requests a trade, we're toast. He is the future of this team. Him and Hero to an extent. A lot of decisions to be made in the offseason. To be honest, like, I still obviously will be watching the games to close out the season. Am I going to be like as deeply invested in, winning and losing games as I was like before? Probably not, because I already know the ceiling of this team is a second round exit, and anything like past that is a success for me, and anything below that is whatever I expected it. So I'm just going to be like sitting back, and I'm going to be watching games a lot just for like development of players. Hopefully we have guys, I know the whole undrafted joke thing, but like we actually have some guys like Haywood Highsmith. I think has the potential to be a really good player. Caleb Martin, same thing. It's very unfortunate that Caleb Martin is still our power forward. I forgot to mention that. The fact that this man is our power forward. In 2023, he's a 6'5" power forward when he's been playing the 2 and the 3 his whole life is mind-boggling. And I feel so bad for him because he's been asked to play a position that he has no experience playing. And it's not his fault because we literally have nobody else to play that position. And who is that again on? The front office. So in 2023, in the summer of 2023, is when I'm really going to be looking forward to what the Heat do. Because right now, this is the team. Whether we add someone in the buyout market or not, which I think we will, it's not going to change much. So I would, to any Heat fans who are like asking for like, oh, how do I watch games without getting frustrated and all, please lower your expectations. Don't expect a championship from this team. Please do not. Last year it was okay. We were a contender last year. It was actually a contending team. This year, nowhere near it. We just got to be brutally honest with ourselves and accept that we are nowhere near contending for a championship. So don't expect us to contend for one. If you expect something great, and if the reality is that the team is just not capable of doing that, you're gonna be disappointed. So if I have any advice for you guys, just lower your expectations, take it day by day. Watch these games for the growth of these players. Hopefully Tyler Hero, becomes more consistent offensively. Hopefully Bam's jump is real and he can do this for the remainder of the season. Hopefully Jimmy Butler does not decline. Hopefully we see a rejuvenated Kyle Lowry. Just watch it for the players. The team, we all know. If you're a basketball fan, if you're not a casual, everybody knows that the ceiling of this team is not that high. So watch these games for the development of these players, and hopefully we can enjoy that instead. Because the front office has already took all the enjoyment away from watching this team for the success part, because this team is not going to have success. At best, like I said, second round exit. So they've already taken that away from us. Do not let them take away, your joy of watching these players succeed, because Bam's season, I know this season overall has been disappointing, but do not overlook Bam's season. He's having an all-NBA type season, and it would be a shame if we did not recognize that. So that's all I have to say, man. Is the championship window closed? Right now, I just would have to say so, because I don't really see a way for the Heat to really drastically improve this roster. Obviously, right now they can, but even in the offseason, they have a lot of terrible contracts. They have a lot of decisions to make as far as extending players. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, and we'll see what happens. But as of right now, the Miami Heat are just another mediocre team in the NBA, and I think it's time that we all just realize, take a step back, and just enjoy the games for these players. I'll see y'all later as always, man. Hopefully y'all had a nice day. Peace.